free transfers going into FPL Gameweek 17 with some issues in my squad, particularly with Wolves players. Help me get this one to 1,000 likes and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. I'm recording this one on Monday morning. I am all out when it comes to FPL Gameweek 16. I'm finishing on 50 points, not the best game week. Certainly a few problems with the squad as well. I was regretting captaining Salah when he only got an assist on Saturday, but having seen blanks from Saka and Palmer, I actually ended up the right side of that captaincy call in the end. I had attacking returns in my forward line from Solanke and Kuna, but now Kuna is at risk of a ban after some awful scenes at the end of the game against Ipswich. Nori got a red card in that one and he is now suspended and is another issue with my squad. Double Arsenal defence did deliver though. My transfer in Enzo got an assist, although the player that made way and Burmo scored, and I brought in Trent into the defence as well, who also only got a 1 pointer. But I made the right decisions on captaincy and on who to start and who to bench. So I'm going to take the positives. I'm kind of staying around the same rank as things stand with one game left to play. And as I mentioned, I've got 2 free transfers going into game week 17. We've got a midweek round of League Cup quarter-final fixtures. 3 of these are played on Wednesday. Arsenal host Crystal Palace, Newcastle host Brentford, and Southampton host Liverpool, while on Thursday it's Spurs against Manchester United. We do also see Chelsea in the final round of the Europa Conference League, which is 1 week delayed from all of the other European Cup games. So they play Shamrock Rovers at home. Obviously, they do rotate their squad for that, so that shouldn't be much of an issue. But we do need to be aware of these fixtures, because you look at the likes of Alexander Isak, who's among the most bought this week, ahead of a trip to Ipswich in game week 17. He will play midweek. He will play 90 minutes, so there is a bit of an issue there if you're looking at making early transfers. Can he get through that game unscathed? It's something we need to bear in mind. My transfer plans then, I have got the 2 frees, but I've only got 0.2 million in the bank, and there are a few issues in my squad now. I've got Nori, who is suspended for game week 17. He will be back in game week 18, but then Wolves fixtures turn, and to be honest, his returns haven't been great up until this point. We've had a 0, a 0, and a 4 and a -2 in the last 4 game weeks, so he's only netted me 2 points. I believe I've started him for all of those games as well, so that's been a bit of a disaster. However, I probably can get away with not starting him this week anyway, so that's maybe one to put on the back burner. Then we've got Kuna, who it's rumoured could be banned after some ugly scenes at the end of that defeat to Ipswich. Again, obviously he redeemed himself a little bit in game week 17 with a goal, but it had been 3 blanks before that, and the fixtures do turn as well. So again, he's looking like a sell, but I probably need to wait for news on that before letting him go. Dominic Solanke, the other one, he's kind of been ticking over in terms of returns. 1 goal and 1 assist in the last 4 game weeks, but Liverpool at home feels like it could be an exit point. I'm not super motivated to sell Solanke, but he is my easiest route to get to Isak in the squad, and Isak, it feels like this week is the entry point to get him for Ipswich away. The fixtures after that: Aston Villa at home, Manchester United away, Spurs away, Wolves at home, Bournemouth at home, Southampton away. Feels like you can buy him for the next 6 to 8 game weeks and get some decent returns from him, because he has got 11, 8 and 11 in the last 3 game weeks. So Solanke to Isak could be the move. I would have to sell Kuna as well, because just looking at the straight swap, I'm quite a bit off in funds at the moment. I'd need to free up 1 million. Now, when it comes to looking at Kuna replacements, I'm not spoilt for choice when we look at the forwards under 6 million. Probably João Pedro is the one that carries the most appeal. It's been a disappointing couple of weeks for him in terms of output, but he did play 90 minutes last time out. He did look lively as well, and Brighton still have some good fixtures over this festive period and beyond. So they're the moves that I'm debating making at the moment. I am a little bit nervous though, because I only have 0.1 million to play with, and I really don't want to buy Isak before that League Cup game on Wednesday, so it's going to be difficult And I don't really know where I'd go with my moves if I couldn't afford that, especially if Kuna is ruled out, because it would leave me thin in the ground and I would maybe need to look at alternative moves. But I look through the forwards in the game at the moment and there's not really anyone that I'm super excited to buy outside of Isak right now. Like, I could go Jackson, but again, I can't get the funds and I've already got Enzo, so I'm already doubled up on that Chelsea attack. So it's something I need to mull over in the next few days, but I am going to have to keep a close eye on those price changes and potentially go early on the move, which I don't really like doing. Team selection time then, and it will be another double up on the Arsenal defence with Raya and Gabriel away at Crystal Palace. It paid off for me last week, but Crystal Palace's attack is really starting to click at the moment. I've also got Trent, who is hogging a lot of the funds, which is making me inflexible further forward, away at Spurs. Hopefully he can at least pick up an attacking return in that game. And the best of the bad bunch in terms of my third defender is Vandenberg at home to Nottingham Forest. He will come up against my Chris Wood in the attack, so not massive hopes there. Into the midfield, and it's stacked again with the premiums, Palmer, Salah, Saka. I've also got Enzo Fernandez getting the nod for the trip to Everton over Morgan Rogers, who is at home to Manchester City. That could be a decision I regret, but I am excited to double up on that Chelsea attack. And then, as I mentioned in the forward line, it is Chris Wood, likely to be flanked by Isak and João Pedro, providing I can get these transfers made at the right time, subject to what goes on in the League Cup quarterfinals in midweek. When it comes to captaincy then, there's three main picks. I'm discounting Saka away at Crystal Palace because I feel like Isak is more of a consideration away at Ipswich given his current form, but the midweek game does kind of put me off a little bit there. There's also Salah away at Spurs and Palmer away at Everton. I know that Palmer's going to get the midweek off, so that does swing the pendulum slightly in Palmer's favour. It will depend a little bit on how many minutes Salah gets in midweek in the League Cup, whether I go with him for the armband or not, but that Spurs defence still looks threadbare, so I think that Liverpool will have a lot of joy against them. So provisionally it's Salah captain, Palmer vice, but midweek minutes could change things there. If you've enjoyed this one, hit the like button. We're trying to get to 1,000 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel as well, and keep an look out for the latest episode of FPL Green Room, which will be dropping within the next 24 hours. Make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. Thank you for watching.